2, 1.
Hi, this is Jackie Grant, and I'm here with Scott Wolf for InsideSoCal.com/USC. So last week was a bye week for SC. The week before they demolished Cal, and now the #1 team, Oregon, is coming to the Coliseum. What can be expected?
I think this has a potential to be kind of a crazy game. A lot of people don't think USC has a chance to win. I think USC has a chance. Offensively, USC can score a lot of points. I think if their defense can play like they did against Cal and actually tackle people, they can maybe keep them in the game. They're going to have to play, their best game of the season, obviously, to beat Oregon. I mean, Oregon, I think, has probably the best quarterback play right now in the conference, consistency-wise. Matt Barkley's having a great year, but the way that offense is rolling, 55 points a game.
Yeah.
For a first-year starter, that's pretty amazing at quarterback. So, that's going to be tough for USC. LaMichael James, probably the best tailback in the conference and one of the best in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So USC is going to have their hands full, but I think if the crowd kind of gets into the game and the defense plays like it did against Cal, maybe just holds Oregon in spurts, I think USC can stay in the game and maybe, it'll come down to a last possession. But, maybe USC has to play a perfect game. I don't know. But I think they have a chance, but it's going to be difficult, obviously.
Yeah. I've read on ESPN that some people would say this is our SC's bowl game. What do you think of that, the magnitude this game has?
I think that's ridiculous, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a regular season game, and guys at USC are used to playing big regular season games, and I have a hard time thinking this game, even though it is the #1 team in the nation and on ESPN, will be bigger than when they're playing Notre Dame, later in the year, or UCLA. Those games are going to be just as big because of the rivalry and what's at stake, pride and everything else. So I don't think it's a bowl game. I just think maybe from some people in the media, they call it that because they're more interested in this game.
Yeah.
But, USC used to routinely play big games like this in the regular season. So I don't think it's that huge a game in that terms.
Mm-hmm. And Wes Horton is coming back off of his injury after missing the past 3 games. How do you think he's going to impact the defense?
Well, that could potentially be one of the reasons they're in the game Saturday. If he starts and is able to play, hold up, he's wearing a special plate to protect his bruised back. So if he can play, Nick Perry looks like he's healthier. He's had a sprained ankle all season. That's a huge difference for the defense, to have 2 quality DNs like that. So that's going to be a huge thing. They've got to get better play out of the secondary, though, whether it's Torrin Harris, Nickel Roby, Sharice Wright, TJ McDonald, or Jawanza Starling. They've got to tackle, and they've got to play pretty well, and they can't get tired, which, that's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Fatigue. USC ran out of gas in the Hawaii game.
Yeah.
They got tired in the Washington game. So, Lane Kiffin had them running a lot of wind sprints last week to kind of get their endurance up. So we'll see if they can actually stay on the field for that long.
Yeah, do you think they're going to have the depth or speed to try to contain this Oregon?
I think they might have the speed, but the depth is going to be the issue. Chris Gallipo's going to play. We'll see if Malcolm Smith plays. Right now, he hasn't practiced. He might be able to play. But they're going to need to rotate some guys in and out of there to stay fresh. I mean, the thing is, Oregon's not on the field a lot. Their offense is hardly on the field.
Yeah.
But they are running at such a fast tempo that you're on the field for more plays, even though they're not on the field for 30 minutes. It's more like 26 minutes. But, there's a rapid pace, so you can get tired pretty quickly in a game like that.
Yeah. And shifting to the offense, what type of game do you expect to see from Barkley?
I think he'll have a big game. I think this is the kind of game he looks forward to because, you'll get the Stanford game, and he almost pulled it out but didn't quite. So I think he's still looking for that kind of signature win, I think, to define him as a college quarterback. They beat Ohio State last year, but the big drive at the end, Joe McKnight was making plays, Stephon Johnson scored a touchdown. I think Matt Barkley would like to have a game where the fans are looking at him and saying, hey, that's kind of like the Notre Dame game where Matt Leinart threw a big pass or scored a touchdown. And, this could be the game. He can't have a lot of interceptions, though, and, he's only had 4, but this is one of those games where potentially, he might turn the ball over, and he's got to really make sure he's accurate and doesn't get too emotional and try to make too many plays.
Okay, so any score predictions? Is it too early?
It's too early.
Too early, too early?
I'm,
Okay.
I'm like the Vegas guys. I gotta wait until Thursday to make a
That's fine.
score prediction.
That's
Do you have
fine.
a score prediction that you want to make?
It's too early. Like you said, I'm going to say it's definitely going to be high scoring. In 30s and 40s, I'd say. So,
I know you're in midterms, so I don't want to put
Yeah.
you on the spot, but who do you think is going to win the game? Why don't you tell me that?
well, that's tricky. I'm going to say USC. I think they're going to do it.
Are you going to go to the game?
I will be at the game.
Are you
My
going to wear
family's
Cardinal?
coming, too. Yes, the homecoming game.
Yes,
so
you're
absolutely.
under orders, right? Apparently there's this movement that says you
Yeah.
must wear Cardinal at the game. So
Absolutely.
you're not going to
wear
rebel and wear
No.
white or
No,
yellow or
no,
something?
no. I support the Trojan
Okay,
family and
you're not a
everything.
secret rebel?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Okay.
So-
I think another thing that's interesting too, it's not related to the game, but last week Lane Kiffin went out recruiting and he saw a lot of guys, and I think the bye week allowed him to get a better handle on guys that he likes and can see, because it's vital that they sign the right guys in this
Yeah.
recruiting class. And he went and saw Crenshaw High, he went and saw Mater Dei, Sarah, and they've already got some guys from those schools,
Yeah.
but he also saw some other players too, so it was important that he had time to kind of, at the mid-season, evaluate, and I'll do more on my blog about the specifics of that week, but I think it's good they had that bye last week, not just because they have 2 weeks to prepare for Oregon, but the key to this program is recruiting, especially with potential scholarship
Yeah.
reductions, so I think that bye couldn't have come at a better time for Lane Kiffin.
So they always seem to be preparing for the future. Looks
Oh, every day.
Every day, every day. Perfect. Well, thank you, Scott. This is Jackie Grant, and we hope you guys will all be watching the game this weekend, as we surely will be. So, bye.